Coming up, see how the Omaha's Green Lining Fund revives communities once hit by redlining.
Then, see what the proposed budget cuts could do to Medicaid and what's at stake.
All this and more on the Omaha News. Good afternoon, I'm Abigail Gosek.
And I'm Grace Huffstetler. The Trump administration is halting a $1 billion program that helps preserve affordable housing, threatening projects that keep tens of thousands of units livable for low-income Americans, according to a document obtained by the Associated Press. The action is part of a slew of cuts and funding freezes at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, largely at the direction of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, that have ravaged the affordable housing industry. In Omaha, a new initiative is assisting neighborhoods once marginalized by discriminatory lending practices. Front Porch Investments Green Lining Fund is aiming to revitalize North and South Omaha, areas historically affected by redlining. Reporter Mary Mitzloff has more.
Front Porch Investments Green Lining Fund is helping homeowners in historically redlined areas invest in their properties and enhance the community. Redlining is the practice of denying loans and services to minority neighborhoods, which led to long-term disinvestment, and though outlawed in 1968, its effects still linger. Yolanda Williams, Housing Justice and Grants Manager at Front Porch Investments, says this impact is still evident today.
How can this impact North Omaha residents, particularly the Black North Omaha residents that struggle to find affordable housing, that are struggling with home ownership, and just the valuations of these homes are much lower than counterparts in, Midtown or West Omaha.
In 2023, the Green Lining Fund launched a program providing 0% interest loans of up to $50,000 per property to help homeowners with critical repairs.
These funds support home improvements and renovations, aiming to stabilize households and address critical housing needs.
Itzel Lopez, CEO of the Latino Economic Development Council, says many homeowners are forced to choose between basic maintenance and other essential costs.
And it's expensive. I mean, you talk about, replacing a window. All of these windows in my home office have not been replaced, and it's really cold here. Do I want to replace the windows, which is, going to cost me so much, or do I want to pay a higher monthly bill?
The Green Lining Fund isn't just about fixing homes. It's about restoring investment, empowering residents, and ensuring North and South Omaha communities can thrive for generations. For the Omaha News, I'm Mary Mitzloff.
By addressing past injustice and investing in the future, the Green Lining Fund is paving the way for a more equitable Omaha.
Proposed budget cuts are aiming to slash $880 billion in spending, but this may not be possible without cuts to Medicaid. What would this look like for Americans who rely on Medicaid? Reporter Ashton Kay has the story.
That's your warning.
With talks of large cuts to government spending, the likelihood of cuts to Medicaid funding are growing larger. Medicaid is a joint program between the state and federal government to provide medical care to those without access to insurance, including children, pregnant women, and people with disabilities. Jeremy Wright is a therapist and clinical supervisor at Behaven Kids, which is a practice that includes mental health services and a day program for kids. He says that Medicaid is critical for his patients and that most of the kids he sees are on Medicaid.
There's not enough patients with private insurance and good jobs to go around. We don't have enough therapists in the community as it is to meet the need.
Supporters of Medicaid cuts argue that fraud makes the program too costly. Eugenia Krieg formerly worked for the Civil Medicaid Fraud Division in the Texas Office of the Attorney General. She says that Medicaid fraud exists at all levels. However, most of Krieg's work was prosecuting larger players, such as drug manufacturers, that were exploiting the Medicaid system in Texas. Krieg was part of a case involving Johnson & Johnson in which the company was marketing the antipsychotic drug Risperdal to children, despite it only being FDA approved for adults. The company contacted members of the Texas Medicaid program to get the drug approved for the Texas Medicaid formulary and then encouraged providers into prescribing Risperdal to children with behavioral issues.
Ultimately, we had kids in Texas that were on antipsychotic medications because of that type of behavior and other drug companies' behavior at a rate of 4 times kids with private insurance.
Last week, Congressman Al Green was ejected from the joint presidential address to Congress and later censured for an outburst following these possible Medicaid cuts. Congress will vote on the spending cuts in the coming weeks, and the Omaha News will keep you updated on what cuts to Medicaid could mean for you. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ashton. Now, after the break, see how homeschooling is on the rise.
Then stay tuned for how a mobile produce tour brings fresh food to locals year-round.
Create, perform, communicate. College of Communication, Fine Arts, and Media.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
Good curling.
Homeschooling has increased 31% in the last 5 years. According to the Nebraska Department of Education, it is perceived as a sheltering way of education. But children who partake develop social abilities and valuable life skills. Join me as I show you the inside scoop. Homeschooling has steadily risen over the past few years. According to a report on Johns Hopkins School of Education, 4.02% of K-12 students in Nebraska were homeschooled in the 2022 to 2023 school year. In a homeschooled setting, the pace can be set to accompany the child's specific needs. There are lessons taught in a home classroom, and the children are given assignments to build their independent learning. Emily Brandel, a homeschool mom with 4 kids, says they have a full schedule that is not exclusive to just learning at home. Her goal is to not only teach them traditional subjects, but to build them as growing people.
I want to teach your heart and your character and your mind.
Homeschooling isn't just at home. There are co-op groups where homeschool families come together in a classroom setting and have their kids interact and learn together. Our Lady of Trust Homeschool Cooperative is a Catholic co-op with 17 families and 74 students. They provide weekly K-12 and preschool classes where parents join as tutors for their children. Nicole Trevis, the liaison, feels that students can really focus on learning and mastering subjects here than they would in a public school.
Like our students were struggling or behind in an area and we wanted to slow down so that our student could master that. There was no room for that in the standard brick and mortar school.
One of the biggest reasons parents homeschool is to focus on their children's upbringing as a whole, rather than just their education.
We feel like at their young age we want to make sure they do have a firm foundation of their faith and their morals.
If you're a parent considering homeschooling, there's many resources available at the Nebraska Department of Education to help inform the decision that's right for you and your children. Stay tuned for the next broadcast to learn more about homeschoolers and their socialization.
One company is taking produce on tour, and that's leading some locals to change how they get the freshest foods at home during these chilly months.
It's not the best time of year to grow strawberries. Well, at least in the Midwest. They won't be back in season locally until around June. The supermarket is always an option, but whether it's better taste, bulk quantity, or novelty you're seeking, there's another way some berry fanatics are satisfying their farm fresh cravings this winter.
The fruit truck made multiple stops in the metro area last week.
They were greeted by nearly 100 customers when we caught up with them in Council Bluffs. They advertise Florida-grown strawberries that are never warehoused, instead directly loaded onto trucks for distribution in 18 states each month.
Their season runs February to April, roughly.
They also have cherries, peaches, pecans, mandarins, and more when they're in season for the company's growers, said employee Jennifer Molinix.
It's built up a loyal following in each town and, advertising.
Trucks are visiting 50 locations across Nebraska and Iowa in March, some more than once.
The truck is in town for around 30 minutes most places it goes, so blink and you'll miss it.
Sue Harder has visited the truck a few times since learning about it online last year. She says there isn't much of a taste difference between their berries and the grocery stores, but she enjoys buying in bulk.
I divvy them up for friends and just freeze some. She loves smoothies.
Molinix told us her son, who rarely eats strawberries, loves these. Others in line echoed that sentiment, and many said they found the fruit truck through Facebook ads.
Their strawberries only come in 8-pound flats, which cost $30 each.
That was great, Andrew. How does the fruit truck's pricing differ from a grocery store?
Yeah, so I checked, and the fruit truck's pricing is pretty similar to what you can get at local grocery stores. 4 2-pound packages of Driscoll strawberries would cost $40 on sale at Hy-Vee. The same weight would cost $21.92 at Walmart. To some, the real difference is in the taste. So if you want to check out the fruit truck, their travel schedule can be found online at myfruittruck.com/schedule. And I bought some of my own. I tried them and they were really good. I don't typically like strawberries. They're a little inconsistent for me, but these, all through the whole thing, they were great. To be clear, I did not eat the entire box. Some of it also went into a strawberry cobbler, which was, I would say, pretty delicious.
That's awesome. I love strawberries, as you can tell here. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on that truck when they come back into town next week.
Oh, me too.
So stay tuned for After the Break to see Legacy Chop House serves up support for local youth sports.
Coming up, UNO grads launch a new magazine spotlighting Omaha creatives.
There seems to be like this gathering right here of really great minds and really great ideas.
I think it's a great moment, to teach a UNO student.
Being here, I get like a jump start on my journalism career.
I found a lot of people that are interested in like the same things as me.
Sort of a lifetime changing career for me and the best way it could happen.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
The 13th Floor magazine is a student-run campus literary journal that features poetry, creative nonfiction, fiction, microfiction, screenplay, and visual art from UNO students, alumni, faculty, and staff. It is produced by the students in the Writers' Workshop Literary Magazine course. New issues of the magazine are published every spring with a public launch party to celebrate its release.
Welcome to Spotlight Omaha, your front row seat to the stories that shape our city. From the latest local headlines to hidden gems, inspiring people, and groundbreaking innovations, we shine a light that what makes Omaha truly special. Whether it's community voices, business breakthroughs, or cultural highlights, we've got it all covered. So sit back, stay tuned, and let's dive into the heart of the metro. This is Spotlight Omaha. Good afternoon, I'm Peyton Yoakum, and today we're talking about a new restaurant in town that's dishing for support local youth sports. Legacy Chop House is making a big impact in the community, and local coaches say their generosity is making a difference. I take you on an inside look of their donation.
According to a recent study, 223.6 million people are reading magazines. Omaha natives George Stevens and Luke Kester, alongside Grace Porter and Justin Cunningham, are finding their way in the magazine industry. Founded at Stevens' kitchen table, Gulp Sign magazine focuses on art that is hard to swallow. Stevens.
For many young athletes, sports aren't just about competition. They're about teamwork, growth, and community. And here at Millard United, those values are thriving, thanks in part to a brand new sponsor that believes in giving back. Legacy Chop House opened its doors in November last year after the closing of the well-known Johnny's Italian Steakhouse. This locally owned business is stepping up to support Millard United's youth softball program, helping cover costs for equipment, tournaments, and field fees. General Manager at Legacy Chop House, Sarah Mangiamelli, tells us about the restaurant's donation.
We've had just a lot of people approaching us because we're so new. We haven't had a whole lot of time to get our footprint out there is on how we want to give back to the community. So for the most part, if it's something local as far as schooling, sports, anything to do with, Angels Among Us, Make-A-Wish, those types of things, we just don't say no and make it work. We'll definitely donate in some way.
Millard United is known for developing young athletes of all skill levels, with a focus on confidence and teamwork. Millard United assistant softball coach Carrie Tiffany talks about how grateful she is to have Legacy Chop House's support.
I think if I asked again year after year, they would continue to be generous because Legacy Chop House takes care of its people, but I also think likes to take care of its community.
Whether it's supporting local sports or serving up great food, Legacy Chop House is quickly becoming a name in the metro area. These donations are helping these young athletes build a season they'll never forget. What an incredible way to make an impact. If you'd like to support Millard United or learn more about Legacy Chop House's community efforts, visit their website for more information. A group of University of Nebraska graduates are preparing to launch their first magazine issue. Highlighting Omaha creatives, reporter Mayor Pritchard gives an inside look into how the editors are gearing up to release their Gulp Sign magazine.
According to a recent study, 223.6 million people are reading magazines. Omaha natives George Stevens and Luke Kester, alongside Grace Porter and Justin Cunningham, are finding their way in the magazine industry. Founded at Stevens' kitchen table, Gulp Sign magazine focuses on art that is hard to swallow. Stevens says why they decided to create a magazine.
We wanted it to be a Omaha, Nebraska-based zine where creatives can send their stuff and know that it'll be taken delicately and really looked over and thought about.
In a fast-paced society dominated by digital media, the editors at Gulp Sign magazine are slowing things down a bit and focusing on our history as they plan to print and hand-bind every issue of their magazine, just like these.
And I think if you do it right, print media can be super archival, where it's like we're going to make hopefully a few issues where they're going to be made to last, they're going to be made with care, and if we're going to ask for work that challenges us and our readers, we want to challenge ourselves to deliver a really good product.
Editor Luke Kester has some advice for those interested in submitting work.
Be as creative as you can. If you think that an idea that you have for a piece is like too niche, too specific, or maybe it's too ethereal or it doesn't make sense to a lot of places, send that to us.
Gulp Sign plans to launch their first issue in the summer of 2025. The editors say that they are looking forward to the first launch and hope to see the magazine continue to grow. For Omaha News, I'm Mayor Pritchard.
Submissions are being accepted until March 31st. Email submissions of fiction, creative nonfiction, poetry, and visual works to gulpsign@gmail.com. That's a wrap for this edition of Spotlight Omaha. Thanks for joining us as we shine a light on the people, places, and stories that make our city one of a kind. Be sure to stay connected with us for more updates. Keep exploring, keep engaging, and keep celebrating what all of Omaha has to offer. Tune in next week to see more soon.
a maverick. You stand ready to change the world. You are an innovator with bold ideas and a vision for the future. You are determined to turn your dreams into reality. You are a leader, committed to making a difference. With Omaha as your campus, you're at the center of it all. Here at UNO, you dare to dream, to innovate, to lead, to shape a brighter future. You are a maverick.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded grass to a full.
Dinosaurs in Antarctica? It might sound like science fiction, but it's actually science fact. The Durham Museum's latest exhibit takes visitors on a journey back to an age when the icy continent was teeming with prehistoric life. Isaac Nielsen has more on this one-of-a-kind experience.
Whether you're 7 years old or 70, at some point in life we've all wished we had the power to freeze time. But what if I told you that from now until May 4th, you could do just that? Omaha's Durham Museum is offering visitors a rare glimpse into a prehistoric world with its new Antarctic Dinosaurs exhibit, giving Omaha residents an icy adventure. While the exhibit offers interactive features and a play area for its younger audience, guests of all ages are walking away with a deeper understanding of the prehistoric creatures that once roamed Antarctica.
Knowledge, if they want to know about the dinosaurs and how long actually they would have lived millions of years ago.
Guests are flocking to the Antarctic Dinosaurs exhibit in search of a unique experience unlike any they've ever seen. In addition to shedding light on our planet's ever-changing climate and geology, the exhibit allows guests to get closer to the real thing than ever before.
I would say as far as uniqueness, this is the only exhibit of its kind that includes the holotypes of the dinosaur fossils, the original bones themselves that were dug out. Most of the time you have to physically go to the museum where they're housed, but these travel with the exhibit.
While the fossils are certainly the star of the show, Cozart says the exhibit has much more to offer.
Another thing that makes it unique, I think, is the fact that it's not just about the dinosaurs themselves, it's about Antarctica, its history, and the intersection of different types of sciences, because it's not just dinosaurs that scientists are going down to Antarctica for. It's pollen samples, ice cores, meteorites. There's a whole host of things, and this exhibit touches on them all.
Cozart says the exhibit is drawing excitement from all ages and that the backdrops even make for a great photo opportunity. For the Omaha News, I'm Isaac Nielsen.
Antarctic Dinosaurs was developed by the Field Museum of Chicago in partnership with History Museums in Los Angeles, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Utah. It features more than 60 fossils, full-scale replications, and touchable models.
Papillion's wellness and social scene just got a major boost with the opening of a new yoga studio and events business.
Cat Cow Yoga and Events is setting itself apart from the usual yoga experience. Located in Papillion, it is fulfilling a much-needed gap in the area. Creative Director Dakota Bachman touches on the importance of this new venue.
Yeah, we're opening up Cat Cow Yoga and Events because it's one of the only places like that in Papillion. There's not a lot of yoga studios around this area. We also have the whole community of the Lux Apartments, so it's going to be a nice asset to the apartment complex.
But yoga isn't the only thing happening here. Once fully opened at the end of March, this space will double as an intimate event venue open for a variety of gatherings.
Finding your Zen just got easier. This new yoga studio focuses on movement, meditation, and bringing people together. From yoga to movie nights to salsa and margarita tastings, Cat Cow does it all.
Yoga enthusiast Bryn Hare says the studio will be more than just a workout. It's a place for a connection.
So even if you're not interested in doing yoga, you could come in for their events that they have at night, and you'd still be able to meet different members of the community and bring your friends along too.
From downward dog to dance parties, Cat Cow Yoga is blending wellness and social events in a way that's bringing the community together. For the Omaha News, I'm Madeline Gao.
Whether you're looking to unwind with yoga, connect with others, or host a private event, Cat Cow Yoga Studio and Events opens here soon.
In other interesting news, a Cheeto shaped like the beloved Pokemon Charizard has sold at auction for a total cost of $87,840. The Golden Auction House listed the stack as sold on Sunday. It was, quote, presented is a 3-inch long flaming hot Cheeto in the shape of the Pokemon Charizard, affixed to a custom Pokemon card and encapsulated in a clear card storage box. There were 60 bids on the uniquely shaped snack, according to the listing. The winning bid was $72,000 plus a buyer's premium.
A Pennsylvania man was going through security at a New Jersey airport was found to have a live turtle concealed in his pants, according to the Federal Transportation Security Administration. The turtle was detected Friday after a body scanner alarm went off at the Newark Liberty International Airport. A TSA officer then conducted a pat-down. That's not turtly cool. When questioned further, the man reached into his pants and pulled out the turtle, which was about 5 inches long and wrapped in a small blue towel. He said it was a red ear slider turtle, a species that is popular as a pet. The man, whose name was not disclosed, was escorted from the checkpoint area by Port Authority police and ended up missing his flight. The turtle was confiscated, and it's not clear if the turtle was the man's pet or why he had it in his pants. That's all for today. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Mayor Gene Stothert proclaimed March 12, 2025 as John Nicely Day. Many of us at UNO's journalism program looked up to dedicated local reporters like John. We'd like to congratulate him on his retirement as he signs off tonight after 50 years behind the anchor desk. I never watched Channel 6, but the times that I did, he was a really
There seems to be like this gathering right here of really great minds and really great ideas.
I think it's a great moment, to teach a UNO student.
Being here, I get like a jump start on my journalism career.
I found a lot of people that are interested in like the same things as me.
Sort of a lifetime changing career for me and the best way it could happen.
For more than 20 years, only one program has addressed topics that matter to viewers. Only one program delivers the information that Nebraskans need to live the good life. I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join my guests and me as we discuss those issues every week on a program we call Consider This.